Hey testers, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to automate few test cases using Playwright with TypeScript. Click test cases here, you will see the test cases list. So I'm going to automate the test case 2, which is login user with correct email and password. So this is my website application testapiqa.com, and just click test cases, you will see the list of test cases over here. Okay. Let's get back to the VS Code. So regarding that, I'm going to create a new file called login user with correct email and password. So login with valid credentials. spec.ts. Since this project has configured in TypeScript, so I'm using TS extension. Okay. So I'm going to import a text block test from where? From Playwright test. After that, I am creating a test block. Test block requires two arguments. One is the title and next one is the async function. See, this one is the title. So you can consider this as a test case title. So what would be the test case title? Test case to login with valid credentials. And as I said, it takes another argument as async function. So I'm creating a async function, right? Okay. Now, so we need to go to the URL, navigate to URL, particular URL, right? So say the home page URL. So I am using, like I am injecting the page playwright fixture here using destructuring, TypeScript destructuring, which is page, so that I can use all methods which are available in the page fixture. So since this has async function, right? So I need to start with avoid keyword. Okay. Avoid page dot go to is the method to navigate to any URL. So let me copy this URL. Launch browser, right? So I'm using this home page URL. Let me create a duplicate tab here. Okay. So navigate to URL, then verify home page. So now verify home page. How can I verify home page? When you see this text, so we can confidently say that we are on home page. Okay. Let me inspect it. Then hover on this text. So since this has H2 tag, right, we can use heading. We can use this heading or we can use CSS. Okay. So I will use two ways. One is the get by role and second one is using the CSS locator. Okay. I'll use first get by locator because since there's a H2 tag, right? So you no need to write expert here. Avoid page dot get by role. Get by role is from user perspective actually. So say how can any user or end customer can find this? This has some text, right? This has something which is the heading text, right? By looking at this element, you can say this has a heading text, right? So get by role takes two arguments. See, it is expecting one or two arguments, right? So first one is the tag name of an element. Here they mentioned, developer mentioned H2, right? So here we can't write directly H2, we'll use heading. Okay. Then comma, then open braces, then visible text of an element. Okay. What is the visible text of an element? Shop by category, right? Shop by category. Then, yes. So let's verify here, okay? Here, see, then verify home page, right? So we need to use expect function to assert this element, okay? Before that, I will store this element in a variable called heading home page test. Okay. See, you will see a 3 dots which is saying warning actually, because await has no effect of the type of this expression, because get by role returns a locator. It does not returns promise. Hence, you can remove this avoid. You should use avoid only when the if line of code is returning promise. Okay. Then I am using expect, right? Expect from playwright test. So when I add expect, so it in the by default it is added expect. Okay, expect. You will have to mention the element name, heading paste test name. So we are going to verify the text, the text of the element, right? So there is a method called dot to have text. To have text. What is the text we are going to verify? This method we are verifying whether this is matching or not. Okay, that's fine. Let's run this. Okay, so here I am running from this triangle, right side triangle, which is the playwright text runner. Okay, I click playwright text runner, the Chrome browser will invoke. See the test has passed, which means now we are in home page. Okay, and the next step is click sign up login. You can see here this is the sign up login menu. Okay, take it and hover it. Observe the element here. This element is made of anchor tag, which means link, and this has a text which is visible text. So if it has a tag, valid tag and visible text, we can use get by role. We no need to write a XPath like this. Let's say class right. This is a CSS locator, although it is not matching one of one. This is the right. Or else you will use this href. Open it. Href login XPath, right? No need to write it. In Playwright modern automation, writing XPath and CSS are the second priority. The first priority would be use get by method. Almost use the get by methods only. Okay? So as I said, this element has a tag and visible text. Okay, let me copy the visible text. It will be useful in later. Avoid page dot get by role. As I said, get by role take 2 arguments. See, the first argument is this. See, you can use alert or you can use list. Right? It supports timer, table. It supports everything. It supports menu, link. Right? See, single colon link. Hit enter, comma, open curly braces, name, colon. What is the visible text of this one? See, this is the visible text of element, right? Right, dot, click. Right? Let's see if this works. So since we we are executing the test case in Playwright runner, right? The Chrome browser won't close. Okay, we have to explicitly close it. Okay, let me run the test again. It verifies the home page. It clicked sign up and login. See, you can see it. See, when I click this sign up and login, you will see this page, right? Yes, our step has passed. And what is the second? Verify login to account is visible. Here there is no login to account is visible. We will assert the welcome back text. Okay, when the welcome back text is visible, which means we are in sign up and login page. Okay, and right click inspect it. Yeah, click on this, over on the welcome back text. Again, welcome back text has a h2, which means if you say h1, h2, h3, those are the headings. Okay, so let me copy this visible text. Then again go to here, avoid page dot get by role, then heading, comma, name. What is the visible text? This one, welcome back, right? Let me store this variable because we are going to assert this, right? Which means we are verifying the welcome back text. Okay, contest welcome back text login page. Okay, here VS Code is showing a kind of a three dots, which is the warning message that you can remove this, avoid, it does not affect anything, right? So then in the next line I'm using avoid expect, avoid expect, it takes element welcome back login page dot to have text. Which element text is where we are verifying welcome back, right? Let us run it again. It clicks sign up button, it does not throw any error, I guess. See, the test has passed. And the next step would be enter correct email and password. Okay, now we are in this page. Now here this is email and password actually. Here it says enter correct email and email address and password. Okay, hover it. This element does not have a visible text, right? You can't use page that you can't use get by role. So can you use a direct CSS, right? We can use it. See, class, since form input as a class, right? You mentioned dot then input. Okay, it is matching two elements. Again you will have to write a unique XPath. But what I am trying to say that CSS and XPath are the second priority. Man. You can use get by methods in Playwright, right? How can we use it? See here, since this element has a input tag, right? It is made of placeholder. Okay, placeholder has a attribute name value called enter your email. Okay, I am copying this enter your email. See how I write the here page dot, you will see get by placeholder, comma here dot, we are entering fill, right? So we supposed to enter the data in the input, right? We can't select it input, right? Like that. So I use fill method. What it does, it will enter the data, and remember before entering the data, it clear the data in the input field. That is the use of fill method. I am using VKS working email ID vks@gmail.com. Similarly, let's inspect password. Even this element does not have the visible text, but it has a placeholder. We can use that. Okay. Avoid page dot get by placeholder, right? Enter again fill, right? What is the password? VKS 321. Nice. The next step would be click login. Let's inspect the login element. You will see yes, this element has a visible text and has a tag called button. Let's see we can how can we use. So we can use get by role. Avoid page dot get by role. What is the first argument, right? That first argument would be the tag name of element, which is the button here. So when I type, you will see the suggestion, right? Button. Then, comma, enter curly braces name. What is the visible text of this one? This one, login. See, here you can remove this image actually. Okay? You can no, it not required. So we can't fill the element here, right? We're supposed to click it because it is a button. So I use dot click method. Okay. Then the last step would be verify login in as user at top. Okay. Let me enter the data manually. Yes. Then I hit login button. So it takes some moment to log in. Then you see the hi. This is the username of this one. So the step is verify login in as username at top. So now we should verify whether we are able to see the username at top. Okay. Let's inspect it. Over it, you will see, right? So this does not have the placeholder or okay, and this does have a visible text. But do you think span in the work in the get by role? Let's see, get by role. When I span, see, you don't see a span. So page dot get by role method won't work here. So we don't have any option. So we have to rely on CSS. You can write export for that, but I am writing a CSS simple span. See, it is highlighting the one of one. Excellent. So avoid. Can I use get by methods for the locator? No, you can't use it. If you write XPath or CSS, there is another command or method called locator. You use locator. You should use locator and comma mention the CSS. Okay. Then we are going to assert whether the text is visible, right? So for that we will store username text. VS Code is very smart. It is showing the page.locator returns a locator. You can remove this, avoid safely, right? The next word would be avoid expect. It takes the first argument as username element dot same to have text or what is the text that we are checking? Hi PKS. Okay. Now I'm going to run the test. Let's see. Now it launches the browser. It click the sign up and login, entering the username and password. Click login. It's saying invalid email and password. Did we? Why it is saying anything wrong? See, VKS 321 is the correct valid username.